Hi, and welcome again to AI Voices. My name is Ryan, and I help businesses with automations, AI agents, and AI processes, and how to practically use these systems in their operations. And today, I would like to talk to you in this video about this subject. Let's stop the hype. There's a lot of hype going on, and we've been in a lot of hype in the last almost 3 years now since ChatGPT came out. And I think that just recently we have seen um, how this hype could turn out. And we get very excited about all these new tools and these new things. And we see all these YouTubes and Instagram and social posts in different places about the next big thing that will change our lives. And then it comes out and it's not that life changing as we thought. And the last. The last one that we saw that was like this just a few days ago is with GPT-5. Everybody was speaking about GPT-5 and how it's about to come out and how it's going to change our world. And then it came out, and a lot of people had a very bad experience, and it didn't work well for them, and the responses weren't so good. And I think that that gives us a moment to stop for a second from all this noise and all this big hype, and take a deep breath and really look at these tools and systems and try to go beyond the hype. And I would suggest for you what I call a system of 80-20, where 80% of your time you focus on getting to know very specific niches or very specific AI tools, and 20% for learning and getting to know new systems or new tools that come up every single day, or sometimes even more than once in one day. And I think it's a really good way to look at it, beyond the hype and look beyond the noise that we hear, because this noise is just a big cluster that takes us away from focusing on these opportunities that we have, because each of these AI tools that come out, each one of them is a whole world of things that you can do and experiment with, and of course be a professional with. And I think that if you look at it that way, and if you learn how to take a specific niche or a specific tool or subject, and you become very knowledgeable about it, then you have something that nobody else or most other people don't have. And I'll take the example of ChatGPT just as an example. Many people could say, okay, everybody uses ChatGPT. Millions and millions of people use ChatGPT. Why would I even need to learn how to use it or do anything with it? I'll just do whatever everybody does. And I think that's a wrong way to look at it. I think that I don't really think I know that there were a lot of researches about this and articles that most people, I think over 90% of people, use ChatGPT in a very simple, straightforward way and don't go in depth into the different tools and options that you have. And if you will take the time to do a deep dive and to learn inside and out what you can do within ChatGPT, even, then you will have an edge that most people in the world don't have at the moment. And then you can take this edge, you can take this thing that you learned and be a professional on how to use ChatGPT, how to use custom GPTs, how to use the different connectors, how to prompt ChatGPT in the best way, and how to get the best outcome, and many, many other stuff that you have. And that's just one example of one tool, that's ChatGPT, of course. But think about all the different tools that we have. And we saw this happening a lot. And I think it's time for us to look at all this hype and look at all this hysteria that's going around, and change that for ourselves. Because I can tell you from experience, when you go after the hype and you go after each and every tool that comes out, you are missing on a lot. You're missing on the actual in-depth deep dive experiment with these tools and learning how to really use them in the best way. So I really suggest and kind of hope that you will join me on this journey that I'm also learning on myself, how to take a deep breath, focus on a specific niche or specific tool, learning how to use it in the best way, learning things that other people don't learn, and then really using that to your advantage. And I would like to look at two tools today and show you two use cases of two tools that one of them had a very high hype, and I saw a lot of articles and posts about, and then it just kind of vanished and stopped. And we will see why that, I think, in my opinion, happened. And another tool that didn't get this amount of attention and hype, and what that could do. So always take with a grain of salt all this big titles that we see on YouTube or Instagram or other places, like the a life-changing new AI tool, or this AI tool beats them all, or you don't need N8N or Make.com anymore because this tool is going to do everything for you, or the lately the GPT-5, which is a new and insane and amazing tool or update, and then we start using it ourselves and we see that, well, it's not exactly that. So we will do a short demonstration of two tools that I think were in that hype lately. It's not GPT-5, but it is others. And I think that you also see here in my channel that usually I do not come out with videos about new tools that just came out, because I try to check them out and go in deep depth into them before I do a video. So sometimes it will be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or even a month, or even more after they go out. And only then you will see a video here about them, because I want to show you the real way of using it, and beyond that hype that we're talking about. And I can tell you, with GPT-5, for example, I know that after the announcement, about 15 or 20 minutes after, there were already a bunch of YouTube videos talking about how GPT-5 is the next big thing, and how it's so amazing, and how it's insane, and stuff like that. But come on, 15, 20 minutes, even if you're a real professional, you can't really know yet by experimenting and checking something for 10 or 15 or 20 minutes and know if it's that good or that life-changing. And that's at least my opinion. If you think differently, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. So let's dive into these two tools and see what we're talking about. Okay, so here is the first tool. This is a tool called String from Pipedream. Pipedream is a very big company, very known and reliable company. If you don't know them, please go into their website and you will see more about Pipedream and their abilities and their connections. They're a very serious company, and they released about a month ago this system called String, which basically, just like it says here, it should help you to build an automation or run AI agents or any automation, and just by simply natural language and writing in simple English what you want to build. So when this came out, I saw a lot of posts and YouTube videos about String, and how this is a N8N Make.com Zapier killer. And eventually, I think it's far from it. And if you will try it yourself, you will probably see the same. First of all, the pricing here is quite high. And if you go into Pipedream itself, and you will see the pricing of Pipedream, it starts from around $45 per month. We will see it in a moment. And also, if you try to build something, so yes, it could build a nice automation. And just from giving it a very simple prompt, you can see here, for example, I gave it a prompt: build me an agent that monitors the Google News RSS field. A feed looks at the most recent story, then uses AI to write a tweet, a 10 tweet storm, summarizing the article and providing compelling insights or perspective, then sends me a Slack message that is well formatted with the tweets I should post to x.com. Okay, so it did build the whole thing, and it gave a 30 a whole automation, which basically triggers every 30 minutes, goes fetches the Google News, and then from there generates a tweet storm, and then sends that in my Slack channel. So here's my Slack channel, and you can see I built this String AI just to see how it works, and it gave me these ideas for different posts that I can do according to a news feed that it just got. And you can see that it did work, but it did work until a certain point. After about 5 or 6 runs, it reached its limit, and I had to upgrade in order to continue. And that happened very quick. It happened overnight, in the first night. So the credits that you get are finished very, very fast. And if we go into Pipedream, and we go to here, then we can see that on the free you get 10 credits. And if you upgrade, then on the annually, yes, the prices are a little bit less, but I usually look at monthly because it's something new. So it's $45 a month for 2,000 credits, which if you do a calculation, if for me, after about 5, 6 runs, I used all my credits, which was about 10 back then, because I was still on the free. I didn't pay here. Then you can understand that, I don't know, if you run this, let's say at least 10, even more, if it's the automation that I build, so it's every 30 minutes, so it basically runs twice per hour, so that's 24 runs in 24 hours in one day. So you will reach this limit quite fast, and then you will need to raise it. And once you raise it more with more credits, then that costs you more. So I think this is a little bit costly, but of course, it does give you the option to build something just for natural language, which is pretty cool. But it has its limitations. When I tried other stuff that were a little bit more complicated, it got into failures, and it wasn't able to progress and build the automation. Even though I spent hours, 4, 5, 6 hours on it, it still didn't work out. So I think this is a great idea, and this is a great concept. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't use string AI and try to automate some procedures, but take it with a grain of salt. Again, the hype says this changes everything, but in real reality, it is not there yet. It is a cool concept that I think you should try out, but is it a game changer? I don't think it's a game changer as of now. And if it was up to me or today, I build my automations either on make.com or on N8N. And here, what I do, if I want to use it, is I use it just for thinking of ideas and how to structure, how to build basically my automation. And it gives me some nice ideas or nice tools that I can use or nice ways to do this process. But I don't use this for the actual build. So this is just one example of how, on one hand, you have that hype, that big hype that comes in and everybody talks about and everybody says this is the next big thing. But in reality, when you start using it, it's not there yet and it doesn't really work. And then you can waste a lot of money and a lot of time on something and be very frustrated from going after that hype, where actually you have a system that you already know, that you already work with for a very long time, and you know how to do these kind of stuff quite easily. So try to stay away from these hypes. I want to show you another system, and this one is called Opal, or Opal, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, and it's from Google. And I do think that Google deserves some credit, that they are actually going down this road that I'm talking to you about, which is lowering down the hype. In the beginning of the AI, everything that they had decided to build new tools or models or whatever it was, they did these big announcements and very dramatic, and then people started using it and it didn't really work and it wasn't that good and it had so many all kinds of issues, and that's what we saw in the beginning. But I think Google changed their way of marketing and talking or announcing these tools, and we can see that in the last few months they just had moved from these big announcements and just started to release all kinds of new tools or new updates to well-known tools like Notebook LM that got the video overview that everybody was waiting since they showed it in a conference a few months ago. But when they released it, they just released it. There wasn't any big announcement or any big party. And same thing with Opal. When this was released, it was just released and you could have gone in and tried it out. So basically, what this is, just like it says, it's a system that builds, edits, and shares mini AI apps using natural language, meaning that you can build here mini apps that do very specific things, and you can use them and you can share them and you can do with them a lot of stuff. And you can see here in the gallery, there's stuff that they did from their team. And you can see here a lot of cool options that they show, like video marketer, spelling bee, social media post, fashion stylist generated playlist, and so on. And you can, of course, also build your own. Now, in order to build your own, it's very simple. You just click on create new. It takes you to this page. And here you can just describe what you want. Or, of course, you could also choose from here and write it and do it on your own. But the whole idea behind this system is that you can do it in natural language and you can ask it to build anything that you want and that you can think of. So I will show you a few of the things that they did here. We have here a blog post writer, so I can go into it, and of course I can use this and you can see how it is built. And when we go into each and every part of this automation that they built, then I can also see exactly what is in this step. So get topic is just a place where I can choose the topic of my automation. And then we have the write outline while doing a research. So it first does research and it uses Gemini 2.5 Flash in order to do this, and you can change this and edit it. And then from here, it writes the outline and uses Gemini 2.5 Flash. And of course, when you build your own, you can edit which models and everything. And from here, it creates a image It writes the post and then it displays the post inside. Okay, and we can see here an example of what it had. I gave it a topic of AI agents, just a general one, and it gave me a topic, an image, and a whole blog post that I can use. Okay, so this is just an example, of course, of how this works and how you can use it. And you can, of course, later on also take it and you can share it and you can use the link. And of course, if you also build your own, then you can do the same. For example, I did this one example of an article writer, and I can then share this app. I'll just click update. Okay, and I can share this app and I have a link and I can share it with anybody who wants to use now this mini app. And the great thing about Opal and this Google tool is that for now it is still, maybe it will change later on, but for now it's free. So you can use this, you can do as many automations like these that you want. And even here, I'm saying again, there were people that saw this and did all kinds of videos and said, okay, you don't need N anymore. You don't need make.com or Zapier. You don't need these automation tools. You just need Opal and you can do everything. And that's not quite right. You will see that it also has limitations. And you will see that just like it says, this is building mini apps. Okay, it's not building a whole system or a workflow. It's just building mini apps, and we can use these apps. And of course, that's amazing. But this is not something that will come and change the need for these tools like we have from N8N or make.com and so on. And I think, again, take these hypes, these big clickbaits and big titles that you see all around with a grain of salt, and take a deep breath. If you are interested in the AI world and all this technology, and you're interested in learning and getting more experience and being a professional, then you need to know, first of all, how to quiet down this hype and how to stop the hype before you move forward. And then you need to focus. You need to focus on 1, 2, 3 tools that you choose that you think that sit well with your niche, sit well with what you want to achieve, and sit well with your knowledge and your expertise, and use them, focus on them, try them out, learn them, learn the ins and outs, and then you can be a real professional in your niche or in that tool. And that is something that has value. Someone who knows to say a lot of names of different tools doesn't have too much value. But once you learn how to use these tools, well, that is something that is interested for businesses and for people all around the world to learn from you, to get that knowledge. And that's where you can rise and shine. And I really think that's the way to look at this, and not to look only on the hype that we see and experience every day. So if you don't agree with me, I would love to hear your opinion, and I would love for you to write it in the comments below. And that's it for now. I'll see you in the next one.